Hey guys, welcome to Pull the Crown. Today, I want to bring up an interesting topic we touched on the last episode, which is, can you buy a properly good watch for $50? And I challenge Julien and myself to go out and find such a watch and bring it to studio today with our actual money and review it and talk about it. But before we jump into that, Julien, I have to scratch an itch that's been bothering me the entire week. So I recently rewatched the F1 movie. It came out on a stream site. I rewatched it. And in rewatching it, I got a chance to pause the movie on certain scenes where watches were in it. Mm-hmm. So I was completely convinced the first time that I watched the F1 movie that Brad Pitt was wearing a 222. But he was not wearing a 222. He personally owns a Constantin 222. But in the movie, he was actually repping an IWC Engineer, which is a watch I am completely unfamiliar with. So I did a bit of a dive into it. Turns out that he had IWC custom make him a watch for the movie with a racing green, like British green dial with like gold indices. And then IWC was quick to respond and not only making him that watch, but also making that watch a limited edition of like 1,000 pieces and releasing it to the public. And it's that watch.
Yeah, I mean, look, you don't have to tell me. It's funny because, we were speaking a bit before about bringing this up at the beginning of the episode. And I told you then, and I'll tell our viewers now, that a client of mine actually received the first one in Canada locally, right? And he was offered it by the AD, and they delivered it the week after the movie came out to him. So he had a private screening of the movie,
right? And
it was delivered. And by the way, going back to AD service from our last, last 2 videos ago, I mean, that was a real like top of the line service, great white glove sort of thing to deliver the same watch that was in the movie that was at the private screening the week after it came out, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, actually, little foreshadowing, by next week, I'll make sure to bring it into the studio.
Okay, that's super exciting.
Borrow it, and so we can actually talk about it in the flesh as well.
Okay, I like that. But for now, I'm just curious what you think about this watch. So this is basically what I've learned about this watch. I've learned that this watch is a Gerald Gentle design.
Yep.
From the 50s. So
70s.
From the 70s?
70s, yeah.
Okay. And from my understanding, this is obviously like an integrated sports bracelet design that obviously looks very reminiscent to a Nautilus and a Royal Oak and all of those things.
A bit more robust, I'd say.
A bit more robust, more of a tool watch, more brush surfaces, less class, and more kind of everyday. But what I really like about it is the watch proportionally, apparently it wears larger than the dimensions would seem, but it's a 40 millimeter watch. It's like under 11 millimeters thick. It has 120 hours of power reserve, which I thought was pretty impressive. The watch itself looks incredible. But my main takeaway for this is, okay, I don't know if I'm in the market to buy that watch at list, because I think those watches go for like, I want to say 17,000.
Yeah,
the limited edition.
They still currently sell a bit above retail.
Exactly, and now they're going above retail. I think on Chrono they're like 30.
Yeah.
But what's interesting is you can get the exact same watch, secondhand box papers, for like 6,000.
Yeah, so not the exact same watch.
But I mean close enough. But guys, can you go to the next tab?
Yeah, that's
the piece. So I think if we scroll down, there should be a price somewhere.
I think it's
right
there. Canadian 18,000.
So 18,000
plus
so
tax.
Yeah. So you're looking at what, like 14,000 US?
Yeah.
Which is again seemingly still great value if you start comparing it to a Nautilus or Royal Oak.
Yeah.
But then you start finding stuff like this, $6,000. That's an AMG version, by the way.
Yeah, it's cool with the matte titanium sort of.
Yeah,
look.
That looks fantastic.
Yeah, honestly, look, the earlier Ingenieurs, really, really cool. At that price point, these are great watches, great daily beaters. I would never talk you out of it. I personally am not in love with the design.
No?
I don't really love it, and I don't love it in the flesh either. So
okay.
I've had
maybe it's one of those things where I need to try it on.
Definitely. And you know what? Next week we can have you try it on, and you're trying on the cream of the crop, right? You're trying on a real sort of
the
higher
top dog for sure.
Top dog, yeah. But IWC as a brand in general doesn't get the love that it deserves. I mean, it's got a rich history, and it's a little bit of a shaky past in World War II, supplying watches for the Nazis. But that's another story. You know what I mean? We won't hold that against them in the current.
Let's not try
framework.
to ruin the watch for me.
Yeah, let's not.
But I was just thinking, like, for that price, to get a Gerald Genta designed watch.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like that's really flying under the radar. That's a really cool looking watch. Can you guys just pull up that last tab?
For $6,000. I mean, you can't really.
Yeah. Look at this one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, what's the difference between this and the green limited edition one? Absolutely nothing. You're still getting the gold indices.
Finishing movement.
The dial doesn't have the kind of like tapestry style.
Yeah.
But that's about it.
Yeah, the case dimensions are going to be pretty similar. The thickness might be a little bit, it might be a little bit thicker on this model. This is an older reference, right?
Yeah.
This is not a current production, I don't think. But look, I'd say you got to try it on in person. I really love IWC. I think the level of finishing to what the gray market, secondary market pricings are, I feel like it's a no-brainer. I mean, $7,000 Canadian, what is that, 500 USD, 5K USD.
Well, that's kind of my logic. Like, I've never really given much thought or attention to IWC.
Yeah.
But when I saw it in the movie, when I saw it on Brad Pitt's wrist, when I saw that he's wearing this watch alongside, and even just like the story that he built behind the watch of like, he built the story of his character and how this watch was probably handed down to him from his dad and all of that. Like that kind of sentimental stuff really speaks to me. So I don't know.
The marketing just absolutely got straight to you, right? You're the perfect consumer.
I am the perfect consumer. I really am. But I'm just saying, like, the story was great. Brad Pitt rocking it was great. The custom dial was really cool. And the watch itself, it caught my attention. It really did. I've always been a fan of the Nautilus. You know this. I've always been a fan of the Royal Oak. But these are all watches that, like, I have to prostitute myself for the next couple of years to maybe get a watch like that versus this. I could just save up for a couple of months and I can have it.
Yeah. No, for sure. I mean, look, I wouldn't talk you out of it in terms of Genta design watches that are under that, $10K budget, basically, or right around it. It's pretty good. For me, the Bulgari Octofinissimo has it beat in a lot of different ways.
Yeah.
It's not an easy to wear design for a lot of people, but that was a watch.
That was kind of
that was a watch that I sold out of my personal collection that I regret, and I know I'm going to go back to eventually because what you get, in terms of value for money is unbelievable, even at the retail of like 18 Canadian.
Yeah, no, it's a fantastic watch. It really is.
Ridiculously good.
But it's not for everyone, right? Like it's a very bold design, the lugs and the K shape. And
yeah, but like you look at the BVL caliber 138, just that alone should, right. and if you read and research the Le Sentier factory and all the stuff that goes into making that watch, how every piece is hand done or made in-house, I should say, and most of it is done by hand. It's like it still is the thinnest automatic watch movement. I mean, unbelievable stuff. Anyhow, I don't want to get off track.
Listen, it's super impressive.
We talk Genta watches. That's gonna be my pick. But honestly, Ingenieur, great pick. And next week, we'll put it to the test on your wrist.
All right, so let's get back to the challenge.
Let's do it.
The real subject of the episode here.
Yeah.
Can you get a proper watch for $50? Now, you guys are giving away my choice. Hide it. So
just get to your choice, Chris.
Okay, I already see the disappointment in your face. Before I get to my choice.
It's not disappointment, it's agony.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah.
Don't get your panties in a bunch. Hear me out. Okay? I want to start by saying that I love this challenge. Okay? I love the idea of trying to buy a watch for $50. Because I genuinely believe that regardless of where you are in your life, regardless of your means, there is always room for a $50 watch.
100%.
The proof in that is this. I'm wearing a watch that I bought for more or less that, okay? This is a Timex Expedition. It happens to be a limited edition version, like Todd Snyder or something. I don't even know who that is, but he did a collab. I bought it because the dial kind of looks like a BMW logo, right?
Yeah.
But what's exciting about this is I saw it, it spoke to me, I bought it, I put it in my collection, and it genuinely gets wear time. So it doesn't matter what your collection is. You can still buy these second watches. Again, the abbreviation of where Swatch got its name, these second watches like you could playfully wear. You could also just simply need a proper timekeeping device and not want to spend too much money. And you should be delighted to know that your $50, the cost of a gourmet sandwich, can be stretched into buying you
gourmet sandwich. Who the hell are you? Like spending $50 on a sandwich? What are you talking about?
Like a Wagyu burger. They're like about $50.
That's not a sandwich. It's a burger.
It's not the point.
Okay, let's not get into that. That debate's going to be for another video.
Okay, the point is, for a very modest sum of money,
Yeah.
you can get a properly good watch that's going to last you. So this is my choice, okay? I haven't even unboxed it yet. I'm going to do it right now in front of you while you spit on it. Invicta. Never let your friend buy an Invicta.
Okay, but that's like asking a fish to breathe.
What, you're saying it goes without saying?
I'm saying it goes without saying, man.
It's poor quality. It's full luxury. They are deeply discounted. So yes, I know what I've said about Invictas in the past.
Chris, I wasn't in agony. No, I have to correct you on this quickly.
What?
I wasn't in agony because it's an Invicta. Not at all. We shot some content before where you were talking to me and you said, what's a watch that you never let a friend buy?
Yeah.
And your answer was Invicta. And I said, well, actually, there's probably one Invicta, which is the best value for money Invicta.
Yeah.
Okay, and to give the viewers some context here, I said it's the Invicta Pro Diver. But there are some actually decent Invictas on a really, really cheap budget that are pretty good. Like the Pro Diver, the standard one, is like a Japanese movement.
Find a better friend than this, okay? If you have a friend like this, do like me. Just drop them. Just drop them.
I love Invicta. Don't hate on me.
You're sick. You need Jesus.
By the way, that is true. There are some decent Invictas out there.
You're sick. I hope people fucking roast you for that.
And I'm going into it and you're like, disgusting, like whatever, like never let your friend buy an Invicta. And here you are presenting me this exact watch, which I told you about as if it's like this brand new discovery. And it's like
it's a brand new discovery for me.
And that's what's agonizing about this, my friend. It's not the fact it's an Invicta.
Can I get on with my unboxing now?
Go ahead.
Okay. So, you know what's really funny is that on the box there's I've never seen this before. There's a warning, an ingestion hazard warning. Okay. And as soon as I read that, you know where my mind went? Yeah. My mind went to, somebody thinks this is such a piece of shit. They're going to eat it and shit it out.
Yeah. There you go, man.
Okay, no, but in all seriousness, I don't think this is a piece of shit.
I don't either, by the way.
I'm going to start by this, okay? On the box itself, the suggested MSRP from Invicta, $495. Okay. So I don't think that this is worth $500, but with the massive discount that I got, because I picked this up on Amazon, shipping included, for $50 Canadian.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's even less. It's even below the threshold, because for us it was $50 USD. So I spent less money. I got a brand new watch. Look at this. With the little cushion, with the little tag. And it's not like a mystery alloy. Like it's a proper stainless steel watch. So look at this. I want to try it on now. So my choice is basically an homage watch, which I know people don't like, but you know how I feel about an aesthetic of a watch. It's super important to me. And that's what I thought of when I was picking up this watch, is you're getting vintage Rolex proportions and aesthetic. It's a 37.5 millimeter diameter watch. So it's fitting my little teeny tiny wrist perfectly. It has, from my understanding, a Seiko movement. You might know more than me, but I think it has a Seiko movement, a Quartz Seiko movement.
It's a Quartz Seiko movement. Yeah, exactly.
200 meters of water resistance.
Yeah.
200 meters.
Sapphire crystal.
2/3 of the way to a Rolex Submariner. Yeah. So not like, oh, you can wash your hands. You can legitimately wear it in a pool, at the beach, or go diving with it.
Oh, go anywhere in the world with this watch and beat the crap out of it.
For $50.
For $50. It's unbelievable.
For $50.
Yeah.
And, you know, so what's funny is I was at a get-together the other day, and somebody was talking to me about watches because they noticed I had a nice watch on, whatever, so we were making small talk. And so this gentleman has been saving up to get himself like a solid gold presidential, I guess.
Yeah. Day date, yeah.
Yeah, like a day date with the fluted bezel and all of that, right? And he wants that watch so badly that he actually made his wedding band with a sort of fluted bezel edging.
Oh, interesting.
Right? To match the watch that he would like to own one day. And in conversing with this gentleman about about this watch that he aspires to get, he asked me, do you think it would be ever worthwhile for me to buy a fake? Because I've seen some fakes you can get with really good movements that are also solid gold and it's like half the price. And I was kind of like, look, you never want to buy a fake watch. For me, it's a faux pas. You don't want to do that because every time you look at that watch, you're going to know that it's not the real thing, and you won't feel the same sense of satisfaction about all of the time it took you to save up to get that watch.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
It loses all of the sentimentality behind it. And now all of a sudden it becomes purely about the flex. Already wearing a solid gold watch is about the flex, but now your solid gold watch is not even a fake. So it's like you're posing for who, right? You don't even feel good about it.
Yeah.
So the advice that I gave him is, listen, buy an homage, and I happen to be wearing that day my Dreville. So I'm like, I showed him my Dreville. I'm like, look, looks like a Rolex, not a Rolex, but it's not a replica. It's a limited edition piece. It has a good history. It has a good story.
Good build quality. Yeah, for sure.
And I'm like, it does something for me. When I put this thing on, it does something to me, right? So I'm like, you can go and find a piece very, very similar to scratch that itch for now, and then one day just save up, and it'll mean that much more to you when you get that watch. So now to bring that story full circle to this, if you love the look of a Submariner, why not own a watch that looks like a Submariner, is not a fake watch, has 200 meters of water resistance, you picked it up for $50, this thing you can literally forget it, lose it, break it, it doesn't matter. It would cost you, what, $20 to change the battery on a watch? If you go to the mall?
I mean, less. If you do it, you could do it yourself at home.
You're right, but if you go to the mall and you change the battery on a watch, it's $20.
Yeah, something like that.
Bro, you're 2/5 of the way there for just a new watch. At that point, don't even change the battery. Just buy another one. Don't bother to get it polished. Get another one. No? Like, it's solid.
So,
this thing feels so solid.
I would never advise that. It's super wasteful. And
I'm just saying, but I'm trying to make a point.
I get it. No, I get it.
$50 is not a lot of money, and this feels like a lot of watch.
In terms of a value for money diver, I think you nailed it. I know that you were thinking Casio originally. I know that we were speaking earlier, and that's kind of, you wanted to go a different way about it. Yeah, exactly. But honestly, man, I'm super happy that you picked this watch. It's amazing to watch you.
It's not bad.
It's just amazing to me.
That's not bad.
I just love the cockiness of going from like never let anyone buy it, disgusting, cruise ship watches, so like.
Well, I still wouldn't recommend you buy it on a cruise.
No, of course not. But to say that they don't have some offerings specifically under the $100 range or right around it, look, it's a great value for money piece. Like I said, you can beat that up, wear it around. If you're looking for a Submariner aesthetic, but you don't want to wear the fake watch like you summarized, this is great, man. I can't say anything negative about this pick at all. And I love it for you.
I think it's pretty great, man. Honestly, like, that's a little cheesy, but I actually kind of like that. The engraved Invicta on the side of the case. I kind of like that. Look, I mean, to summarize, I really wouldn't buy an Invicta at a retailer on a cruise ship. I would never pay anywhere close to what these watches are listed at. Again, look on the tag, $495. Like,
yeah, crazy.
Never in a million years should you be paying this. Please don't. Go buy a Tissot. But at $50,
yeah, no brainer.
Like, absolutely no brainer.
100%.
No brainer. Like, I pulled up some honorable mentions that I'll show later, like the Casio Duro, and like. Yeah, I originally was really sold on that watch, which also has 200 meters of water resistance.
Yeah,
Casio Duro is also 44 millimeters.
Yeah, it's a big boy.
That's a big boy.
Yeah,
like that would look big on your wrist. On my wrist, it's going to look like I'm a kid wearing his dad's watch.
Yeah.
Like it's just not going to make sense, So to have these classic proportions, still get that water resistance, keep the price low, solid stainless steel, good build,
I can't,
like solid bracelet.
I can't say anything negative about this, Chris. I wanted to lampoon your pick. I wanted to, make you eat your own words. In a way, I kind of did, in the sense that you came at it so hypocritically.
You fueled my choice.
but hey, let me take a different approach with my watch. And I still think I beat you. I have an unfair advantage because the price that I'm paying, if we're talking about market value, the moment you take these stickers off this watch, if you went to sell it, let's say on Kijiji, on Marketplace, wherever you could sell the watch, you'd probably get half of the $50 that you spent. And by the way, that tells you something where if you want this watch, check your local marketplaces, your local Craigslist, check online, eBay and stuff like that. And you probably can find these in like the $25 range, half of what you paid for it. But I'd like to go to my pick now, which is something a little different, a little fun.
Yeah.
And that punches a little heavy above the price that I paid for it. So I also paid $50 Canadian for my watch. It's a vintage 1960s, early 60s, so actually probably like a 63 Seiko 5 Sportsmatic waterproof, okay, with shock resistance. This is basically... Yeah, go for it.
No, I was just gonna say you cheated to get this for $50 for sure.
Well, cheating cheating would imply that I didn't pay $50.
Go ahead.
Cheating would imply I didn't spend $50. I spent $50 Canadian, so I also went under budget. I was dealing with a local vintage watch dealer, and I explained that, look, I have a $50 budget right now, and I actually said $50, but didn't imply to like Canadian. Have you picked up any like interesting lots of mass watches? This guy buys 100 watch lots from ADs and stuff like that. He opens up a drawer and he pulls out a few, and I kind of am sorting through them. And this one immediately caught my eye, mainly because of the case size, right? Most watches that are produced that would fit the bill, like there were vintage Tissot's and stuff like that, but very small. A lot of them trench watches, 32 millimeters from the 50s, and a lot of vintage stuff, which is super interesting, but not wearable.
Right.
This one immediately caught my eye because it had an interesting case. So really interesting case. This guy up on screen is a little different to mine. This one's earlier, first of all, so it's different caliber inside.
Let me see it.
Yeah, let me pass it on. Okay, so a few takeaways. Dial, first of all. Well, let's start case. Case is almost like this hybrid surf case. Super interesting case, right? Gold capped, by the way, so there is gold content to it. It's all original. The dial is probably the most interesting thing about it. It's a mixed dial where it has these interesting little slight tapestry lines running basically parallel to it.
Oh yeah,
throughout the dial. You can see that, right? Like very interesting texture, but it's also a sector dial. If you look brought across, you have
the different quadrants.
You have the quadrants right across it.
Like that.
You have an applied 12 o'clock hour marker essentially in gold. It's a day date. This is the original caliber. I think it's 410 from Seiko. So this is basically the first caliber introduced with the Seiko 5s, done in-house by Seiko. It's an automatic movement, right? So this is pre-Seiko's explosion of quartz, right? And this is kind of like the golden age of mechanical Seikos in a way, and super collectible watch, by the way, too. I paid $50 for it. Here was like a cheaper listing that I was able to find for $130 US. If we switch over to the Chrono 2024, yeah. So here's another example for 460 CAD. And this is a nicer condition watch. Just generally it's better, but same hand stack, by the way. It's got these sort of Delphin hands going on, gold as well. This guy has more applied gold indices, so it's worth more. I'd estimate the value of this guy somewhere around the $200 mark. Look, I wanted to punch way above and show that, hey, if you hunt, $50 budget, you know the right people to go to. You can find the deals. You could go to flea markets. You could do stuff like that and still find a watch that's different.
That's a good justification, because I was going to say, like, the average person...
Oh, this was not for the average person. This was a competition between you and I.
It's not supposed to be a competition. It's supposed to be consumer advice. It still is consumer advice, to your credit. Because if you would have brought this argument, I would have just argued back, Julien, like, there's no way the average person's going to be able to go out hunting and find something like this. But that's simply not true. Exactly.
You'd be surprised.
It's not true.
In this budget, in this range, well, think about it this way. Average people at flea market, they're doing a yard sale. They see brands like Belova, Tissot, Seiko. They don't think high of the brands, right?
No, they don't.
They see Rolex. Now people know to Google Rolex, right? And most of the time it's going to be fake anyway. But these kind of brands usually get swept under the rug. So you can pick them up for pretty good deals if you know what you're looking for. And that's how I got started in watches.
A decent marketplace, Facebook marketplace search would yield some interesting results.
Probably. Yeah. You'll find different lots.
To your point.
But again, this is how I got started in watch selling, man. When I was 16 years old, working in restaurants, I started by buying exactly these watches and reselling them on eBay, finding them for deals where people didn't exactly know what they had, finding interesting details which differentiate, because that's a big thing in vintage market is small details which differentiate it from the norm, make it unique. Like that dial, that tapestry sort of dial that's happening in the sector dial, I haven't been able to find examples that are similar. I showed two different ends where this one's in really phenomenal condition. It has a roulette day wheel as well, which is fun, the red text. With mine, it's running, but the quick set doesn't work. So needs a little service, needs a little
love.
something, but it's running super well, actually.
So there's two things actually I'd like to share with you. The first one is, I don't know if you noticed, but the hands are very, very reminiscent of the current Grand Seiko lineup.
Yeah.
That kind of like sword style.
Yeah.
And the second hand is exactly like a Grand Seiko with that kind of curved needle.
It just went up, man, in price. Now it's $300.
No, but you know what I'm saying? Like it curves to kind of like better point.
Yeah.
It's very cool. There's a lot of like nuanced details in this. I think
and by the way, I was
100%
under the impression this was a competition. Just so you know.
Well, I mean, I guess it sort of is. It's who can give better consumer advice.
Right. Okay. Fair enough.
Now, I still don't think that I'm out of the running because your watch is still on the small side. It's still technically
36,
broken. It's still technically broken.
36 millimeters, but it wears like 37.
Definitely can't wear this in the ocean.
No, certainly not.
And if anybody wanted to use the thing as a gift, I think mine presents a little bit better as a gift because it could come brand new in a box. And if you really want to feel special, you could leave the $500 price tag on it, and they'll think you spent $500
then
on
that's
it.
exactly what it was designed for, my friend. You're actually doing it.
In all seriousness, I concede. I think you won. If this is a contest, you won.
Thank you.
Because if I needed to go home with only one of these two, I'd go home with this one.
Chris,
but
this whole episode was that's all you needed to say.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching, guys.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
No, exactly. But like, look, it's different, man. I went vintage,
they scratch
right?
different itches. They serve completely different purposes. I like this as an exercise to proving that you can expand on your watch collection and buy a very unique piece for no money. And I feel like mine proves the point that you can buy an absolutely fantastic everyday watch that you can literally wear in the shower for $50.
I wouldn't wear it in the shower, by the way. Even a watch that has 200 meters of water resistance, it's not a good idea to go from extreme heat, especially if you take a hot shower
with the steam
to
and all
cold
that.
Because the gaskets shrink.
But I'm pretty sure at 200 meters of water resistance, you'd probably be fine. Whereas the majority of watches that you're going to get at that price, you will not be fine. Even to wash your hands, you should be careful.
Look, man, even in like with a deep sea, if you're going in a hot tub or something, and then you're going into like a cold plunge, I guarantee you're going to have some problems. You keep doing that. It's just the nature of heat, man. Like these watches aren't built to resist sort of that massive change in heat, right? There are certain watches that are built to do that.
I stopped listening to you about 30 seconds ago because all I kept playing in my head is the fact that I wear my Tudor Black Bay everywhere, including in the hot tubs at the spa.
Do not jump into like a cold plunge with it right after, my friend. That's fine. Like you can do it, but you never know, man. If you go to service that watch, you pull it out, the main gasket, stuff maybe around the tube, around the crown, these sort of things could break just from manipulating them at this point.
So what you made me think of too? You were saying that's how you got your start on the watch industry, right? Was like buying these pieces.
Exactly, these Seikos. Yeah, exactly.
So what's interesting, I don't know if you know this about me, but the way that I actually paid for my watch collection is I would put ads on Kijiji and Facebook Marketplace as if I was a jewelry store. I would literally write an ad being like, I buy watches for cash. And I'd have people DM me all day their watches. I would ask them questions. You have box, you have papers, send me some pictures. I'd go on Chrono24 to get a rough idea of what the watch was worth, make them a lowball offer. Most of the time they'd accept. And I would pick up pieces like that. And I built a watch collection off these ads. And then I would just flip the pieces. And that's literally how I paid for my Daytona. Was buying these lower pieces. Like at one point I had like an iced out Breitling that I picked up.
Man, I actually had no idea about this. This is so cool.
Yeah. It's like
what made you stop? You should have kept doing it.
I got my grill. So I was just like, all right, I'm good.
Well, you got there. Like you could have gone for the 5711, man.
Well, I don't know. I'm going to flip a lot of watches for that. But yeah, like that's literally how I paid for my watch.
We're one and the same then.
Yeah, well, maybe not. I don't know. I'm like the amateur version of you, but still, like it was.
No, that's awesome.
It was still a very fun exercise because that's how I got kind of familiar with watches in the first place. Is that I was learning about all these pieces that I had no idea about because I needed to evaluate whether or not it was worth buying.
On the spot training, my friend. That's it. You fake it till you make it. On that note, you said you had some honorable mentions for me.
Yeah, let's go through these honorable mentions before
I can see you're literally falling in love with this watch.
I am.
And it's making me crazy. It's making me crazy, man. The more I see you, like, oh wow, the bezel is so great, and just like,
you know what I was just admiring? So on the second hand of the Invicta, it has like the Invicta logo as like the counterweight of the second hand.
Yeah,
it's actually pretty cool.
Okay.
Okay, anyways.
There's the Casio that you
So
wanted,
this is the Casio. This was originally my choice before I found this. And to be honest with you, man, I didn't look this up because you talked to me about it. I just happened to stumble on it. And then I was like, oh, wait, that's great. And then I
No,
realized
I know, because you completely forgot that I talked about
yeah,
it.
because as soon as you
and
started
thought
talking
that
about
I
it
was-
in Invicta, I was like, my brain took that information and threw it out. So this was the watch I was 100% going to buy and show up with, because I was like, I'm basically getting the equivalent of a Batman
Yeah.
for $50.
But like you said, case dimensions.
Yeah, case
it's tough.
dimensions, whatever. So this watch, I honestly, like, now that I see the bracelet in the flesh, I'd probably leave it on the metal because it's really half decent. I don't like the rubber on this, so I was going to pick it up and put it on a NATO. But same idea. It's 200 meters of water resistance. I love the look, love the case, love the crown guards, obviously love the bezel. I don't know. It's just a really nice watch, 200 meters of water resistance. What deterred me, like I was saying earlier, is as soon as I figured out it was 44 millimeter, I'm like, if I buy this thing, it's going to be exclusively for this contest and I'm never going to wear it. Versus this, I'll
Right.
actually buy and wear.
And by the way, I'd love it if we could put these watches to the test and we could actually try maybe a little challenge between us, daily driving these watches and sort of putting them to the test. I had some ideas about them in general, you know, maybe
I kind of like that.
maybe-
Okay, so you know what? Let's put it to the audience.
Yeah.
Guys, if you don't mind, comment down below what you think we should do with these watches, whether or not we should do tests or whether we should even just give them away.
yeah.
I'd be down for that too.
I did want to give you the real test of trying to service the Seiko with olive oil, just to call back to
I don't think
one of the
anybody's
best-
going to want it after I try to service it, but I'm super down to try to service the watch.
You know, there's a market for everything, man. Any mistake that's made, you can rectify.
Anyways, guys, whatever you think would make interesting content with this, whether it's to give it away to you guys for all of the hours that you spent consuming our content, or whether or not you guys want to see us make more content with these watches, let us know down below. So last few honorable mentions. Yeah. Come on, that's a cool watch.
It's a cool watch, man. Casio for the win. I mean, around this budget, Casio, I mean, up to like $200, Casio is always going to be in the running. It's just a great brand overall.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think this one in particular, like, this is really just, for me, it's so retro that it feels so appropriate. Like, if you're looking for something very trendy, like, I want to say, like, if you want to almost be a hipster, you get something like this, you know? But it's like, for the price, I'm hard pressed to think of something like as cool as that.
I think mine's pretty cool.
Yes, but it's a different take.
I'm just not letting you forget that I won this challenge.
Yeah.
And by the way, also, if you think I won,
Sorry, I have one more Casio that I wanted to show too. This one.
yeah. I don't
Like-
know. To me, I'm not a huge fan.
Well, this one, the aesthetic's very loud. I agree.
Aesthetic's loud, but the bracelet's
it's more
kinda,
like the functionality. Like, this is still technically in the $50 USD range, and you're getting the type of features that are only accessible on like $50,000 watches.
Okay.
No?
No. slow down here. Okay.
Well, hold on.
It's
What
not-
what
okay.
watches have world timers?
Okay, yeah, but we're talking about you could also find this for like $20. You know what I mean? Like, it's not.
With a world timer?
Yeah, man.
No, I just meant like the actual like functionality of a world timer on your wrist for $50.
Okay,
if you
but-
wanted it from a high-end
Yeah,
automatic
but
movement,
again,
you'd be spending $50,000
in the exact same way, your Invicta is going to beat this watch every single day of the week in terms
precision.
of precision and all this kind of stuff.
Well, actually, we didn't even touch on that. But yeah, this will be accurate to like plus or minus 15 seconds a month.
Okay. But like, you can't conflate this Casio and be like, oh, why would you spend $50,000 on a world timer? This is a world timer.
I didn't say that.
It's not the same.
I didn't
ballpark.
say that.
Yeah.
I didn't say that. I said it's nice to know that you have a technology
Yeah.
accessible on your wrist of changing between 31 different time zones
Yeah.
for $50. And if you wanted the luxury of doing that with gears,
Yeah.
it would cost you $50,000.
So for free, it's the same argument.
Okay.
Let me just pull up my phone really quick and go, hey, Google,
It's not on your wrist.
what time is it in London? And it's 10:41 p.m.
It's not the same.
And it's voice activated. So, you know, it kind of is the same in the sense that Look, no, I get it. Functionality wise, it's great.
Yeah.
You can pick these up again secondary for no money. You go on eBay, you Google World Time multifunction. Take whatever the reference number is for this watch. Go on eBay. You can find them used for no money.
Right.
It's exactly that. But at the end of the day, it's a Quartz watch. It's not equivalent.
Yes.
Okay?
I know.
I'm
not trying to compare it to Protect.
Build
Chill
quality, all that kind of stuff. I much prefer the Invicta for the same and for less money, actually.
Well, yeah, that's why it was my choice. Right?
100%.
It's here for a reason.
Yeah.
Like,
what
it
else?
is the winner for a reason.
Do you have any others?
That's it. Those are my honorable mentions.
Honorable mentions. Yeah. Well, I didn't need them. I knew I had this one in the bag. I really didn't need to bring it.
I don't know
I'm
if
so
it's that. I don't know if you
one.
are very cocky. Okay. You know what? Guys, I leave it to you. Please, if you don't mind, let us know in the comments below who you think won this contest. Again, let us know what you want us to do with these watches. And if you guys have any ideas of future content that you'd love to see from us, please don't be shy to let us know.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for watching.
Just make sure to let Chris know how badly he lost. Thanks, guys.